Hi everyone, I'm Shell with Little Acres Creations, and today I am using Piles of Smiles stamp set that is available at littleacrescreations.com to make this really cute card. The first thing I did is I cut out a rectangle on my card base, and I have like a window frame card or window frame die. So I'm going to use that. But first I'm going to go ahead and cover the front of my card using this brick. I thought that would be really fun, and it would kind of look like the outside of a building. So I just cut out the rectangle, and then I just trimmed around it. I figured that would be the easiest way to cover the card base. And when I cut out the rectangle, I just made sure that it would fit with my window frame. So I'm just using some art glitter glue, and I'm going to go ahead and glue that on. And I kind of used like this wooden kind of paper, so it looked like it had wood grain. And then I am adding a piece of acetate, and that's just going to kind of act as my window frames or my window panes. And I thought that would be really cute. Now, the best way I found to actually attach acetate is using like a glue gun or, some kind of glue other than wet glue. It just seems to work best. And then I cut out another one of the window frames just to cover the inside. And now I am using some Bristol paper from Strathmore, and I just really wanted to try that. It's my first time using it, and I am going to color the three critters that are one on top of the other using my real brush markers. And I really wanted to use this Bristol paper because I heard that it's so much better to use with watercolor markers. So I am just cutting my paper down just to make sure it'll fit in my MISTI because it's a little bit bigger than 8.5 by 11. So I'm cutting, and then I am going to stamp all three of the critters in the pile, as well as heaps of hugs and kisses, the sentiment. And I'm just going to stamp that off to the side. And I am using my Lawn Fundamentals Jet Black ink that is watercolor friendly as well as Copic friendly. So I really like to just use that one, and it just gives such sharp crispness. So that's one of my favorite inks now. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp those out, and then we will start coloring. And now I'm just going to pick out the colors that I'm going to use. I picked just a light brown kind of for the rabbit, and then of course brown and a lighter color for the squirrel, and then a black or dark gray for the bear. So I went ahead to the right of my paper and just kind of scribbled so you could see the colors, and I wrote down the numbers. So if you do have real brush markers and you want to use them and copy exactly what I did, then you can certainly do that. So now I'm just going to put in a little bit of color and just use a wet paintbrush just to kind of draw the color out. So I have a little bit of shading and a little bit of darkness and lightness. And I agree, this paper is awesome to use with watercolors. Next, I am just fussy cutting around the whole uh, image. And that does take quite a bit of time, but I think it's totally worth it. And I am going to bring in a black marker just to go around the whole image because I think that really gives a nice finished look. And while I was trying to figure out what exactly to do with this little sentiment, my husband came up with the idea of a balloon. And I thought that was such a cute idea. So it's like the animals are outside holding a balloon. So I just sketched out a balloon and I just put the little tie on the bottom. And then I will come back with my eraser and just erase all of the pencil marks. But I think this turned out so cute. And then I got to thinking that if I were to write a sentiment, that you would be able to see it through the glass. So I didn't want to write a sentiment, so I went back to my paper stash and I found this really cute cloud paper. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut that down and make a panel that goes on the inside. So I'm cutting it down at 5.5 by 4.5, and then I am just going to score it at 4.25. And then I'm going to fold that little part under and I will put that in the inside of the card. And I am just using some wet glue just so I can make sure that it's a perfect fit and I can have a little bit of time to kind of rearrange it as I need to. So when I finished gluing it down, I realized that I needed to just trim around the outside edges of it because there was a little bit of overhang. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that down, and then we will complete our card. And then just to finish this up, I am going to attach the little trio pile. And I don't want, like a whole lot of them in the window, just kind of like a peek. So you don't really know what's going on, but you can kind of see a little bit of them. And then I'm going to put my little balloon up kind of to the right. And then I'm going to get just a little string and I'm going to tie it around the balloon and then also around the little squirrel's hand. So like he's trying to hold on to it. I thought this was such a cute idea. To finish up, I just got a gray real brush marker, and I wanted some shadow on the bottom because now it kind of looks like they're all floating. So I just needed something to add something to ground them. So I just went ahead and just drew a line and just kind of colored in um, with a gray shadow, a gray pen. And I tried to use my water on this paper, but it is so porous, it just soaked up that color. So I couldn't spread it out or make any shading or anything like that. But I think it worked out just fine. So that is the card for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this. It was so fun. And I think it was interesting to make it a 3-panel card. So you just kind of flip through, you write your sentiment, you can write it as long as you want, and it doesn't show. So I think that's such a great idea. If you try this card, head on over and share it with us on Facebook at Little Acres Creations, and the link will be below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a great day.